It's time to determine a NASCAR Cup Series champion here in the 2026 season finale of Season 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our brand new episode of our NASCAR 25 Career Mode and the final episode of this second Cup Series season, as Gary the Cat has decided to actually join us, so shout out to him. But we have got a championship battle on our hands. Ryan Blaney, maximum points last episode has allowed him to cut the gap in half to William Byron and enters today 35 points behind William Byron, who's controlled the championship all chase long. Kyle Larson an additional 5 back at 40 points behind William Byron. Bell in 4th, still mathematically in it, but realistically not. So we're just really paying attention to Byron with a 35-point gap on Ryan Blaney and a 40-point gap on Kyle Larson. And we didn't think that would be a gap that would be possible, but last episode, Ryan Blaney scored maximum points. He won Stage 1, he won Stage 2, he won the race, he scored 75 points on the day, and he cut the gap down to 35 points in what was originally a 70-point gap. So we know he can gain 35 points in one race. Now, of course, if they were to tie today, it would go to the driver that has the most wins. Now, right now, both William Byron and Ryan Blaney come into this race at 7 wins apiece. My expectation, though, for Blaney to have a chance of tying, he would have to win this race. So then he would therefore win the tiebreaker, because he would be at 8 wins compared to William Byron's 7. As we take on qualifying here in this Domino's Chevrolet. And of course, big news this weekend now, Denny Hamlin taking part in his final full-time Cup Series race. On top of that, Michael McDowell, actually in the 71 team, has confirmed retirement at the conclusion of the season, finally on this finale weekend. So McDowell will not return next season to NASCAR Cup Series competition as we exit turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, and we qualify right in the middle of the field, which has been a very common trend this season of being about P20 in qualifying, especially in the chases. Ryan Blaney's on pole over Bell, Byron, Hamlin, Larson, all 3 championship threats in the top 5, including Christopher Bell if you want to count him, but like I said, realistically he doesn't have a chance. So you see the rest of your finishing or qualifying grid as we're ready to determine a champion here on Sunday afternoon. The music playing in the background, the engine's about to fire, and one driver is about to be crowned a champion. And of course, this sets the stage of, a potential first-time champion of William Byron, or will it be our 2-time champ? Because Ryan Blaney, of course, their 2023 champion, looking for his 2nd title. Kyle Larson, a 2021 champ, looking for his 2nd title as well. Of course, IRL he has 2, but the career mode started at the beginning of 2025, so of course Larson's only a one-time champ in this career mode. Here we go, green flag is out, the season finale from Phoenix Raceway is underway. Let's go decide a NASCAR champion here from the Cup Series as they head down this front stretch in towards turn number 1, and Ryan Blaney right off the bat is going to find himself clear of the 24 and everybody else as well, as he's going to try and run away in these opening laps. Now 15 laps in stage 1 does not give anybody a lot of time to make things happen, quite simply enough. So you got to get after it. You got to get up on the wheel and you got to go. And one of the things that I've always struggled at Phoenix with is something we've struggled at many other tracks with, but it's really prominent here, and that's short run speed. So really the first probably 10 laps of this run is all about just trying to maintain track position or lose as little as possible here as we exit turn 2, 3 wide with the 60 of Ryan Brees there, but he's going to get the run down the backstretch with alongside Michael McDowell, who of course that 71 car we know will belong to Alex Bowman next season, who heads to drive for Spire Motorsports. The 60 crosses right there on my front nose as we just about got into the back of him now, as AJ Allmendinger looks to my inside as we head down into turn number 1, and Kyle Busch as well looking to my back bumper, of course looking to have a much more successful season coming ahead here in season 3. There will be a season 3 of the Cup Series here in NASCAR 25, can confirm. Beyond that, we might have some different plans coming in play, so stay tuned on that. Now as we're 3 wide with Austin Dillon, who's going to run me into the outside wall as we make major contact down the back straightaway, and there you have it. It is very risky going 3 wide to the outside, because we saw earlier it can work, but it also can have moments where it doesn't, and we just saw that right there with the 3 deciding he was gonna, run me right into the outside wall. So we dropped down all the way to 24th in the opening laps of this stage, battling there with Smith and Daniel Suarez, Connor Zilisch there behind us, and now as we come to about lap 9, we're starting to kind of work our way back forward now and making some gains. So it's like, all right, it's game on here again. We got another opportunity to get ourselves going forward. We're 3 wide actually with Allmendinger and Busch very briefly there, but we back out of that. Well, didn't really back out of it. I never lifted it. Just unfortunately the AI just find that extra speed as we roll through turn 1 right here behind that Cheto's number 8. And now I'm kind of trying to get creative because I'm like, okay, we can't really always rely on the exit of turn 2 being on the outside, especially if we're 3 wide, because there's a high chance of us getting, put into the outside wall. So definitely just contemplating some options here now as we clear the 16, and now we're up to 23rd, and then we have continued to follow Kyle Busch to the inside of the number 3 now of Austin Dillon, coming to 3 laps to go in stage at number 1. And as we exit turn 4, we're going to be able to get past this Bass Pro Shops number 3, and obviously not in position to be anywhere near stage points, unfortunately, but stage 2 is kind of the focus. It's a longer stage. It's like just over double the length of stage 1. That's kind of where our focus is going to be, with the potential for a green flag pit stop as well. So coming to 2 laps to go, though, in the stage, Ryan Blaney still out in front. Now, I can confirm William Byron right now is running in P3. So as of right now, Ryan Blaney is going to score 10 points. Byron's about to score 2. 8. He's going to score 2 points less than the 12. He's going to score 8 points overall here. It looks like as we head down into turn 3 side by side here with this number 8 Cheddar Chevrolet. And finally off turn 4, we clear Kyle Busch. And you know what? We might have a chance to get at least back to where we started on the very final lap here of stage 1. Cutting the dog leg to the inside. McDowell clear. I'm going to jump up now to the outside line as we head down into turn number 3. We'll be wheel to wheel on the center, and now heading into the exit of the corner down the SPAC straightaway, and sure enough we get into P20 now. Ryan Blaney wins stage number 1, doing exactly what he needs to do, as William Byron manages to score P3 in stage 1. So Blaney just gained 2 points, comes in 35 points out following stage 1. The gap has been cut to 33 points between the 12 and the 24.
Coming to the green.
We all pit for tires as well as fuel. Kyle Larson, by the way, he scored 7 points in the stage. He finished 4th, and he is still P4, just like Byron is still P3 as stage 2 kicks off. So Kyle Larson lost a point to William Byron there, and at this point now, it's pretty well just going to come down between Blaney and Byron. So Larson still, in the conversation technically, but realistically, he's going to need the 12 and the 24 to have issues at this point now. So we're just going to focus in on the battle between the 12 of Ryan Blaney and the 24 of William Byron, as the gap between the 2 is now 33 points now, with 31 laps of racing here in stage 2. We're 3 wide through the middle here between Ty Gibbs and the 99 of Connor Zilisch, who of course was promoted to that 99 early in the season. He didn't start the season as a full-time Cup Series driver until Daniel Suarez eventually got dropped, and they of course brought on Connor Zilisch, and Daniel Suarez ended up at Spire for the number 7. He will be back in that number 7 for the 2027 season, already confirmed there, as we're to the back of the 54 of Ty Gibbs. Now crash in front, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin in his final full-time Cup Series race into the outside wall. Caution is out, and that is mighty unfortunate. Everybody stays out, not in the field window yet. We get ready to go back green, and that was a pretty big hit for the number 11, unfortunately. So Hamlin, he's still up there in front of us. He did not pit, but I do question the pace that progressive Toyota Camry is going to be carrying for these final 25 laps of stage 2. But Hamlin, 1 win on the season, and obviously we know he's not going to get to go out as a NASCAR Cup Series champion. Unfortunately, would have absolutely love to see that happen, but unfortunately it's just, clearly wasn't meant to be. And Hamlin here at this point now just trying to get 1 more win or so before he goes out. But I mean, if his final win came at Darlington, man, was that a fitting one, because that's a track he's had so much success at throughout the course of his NASCAR Cup Series career now, as we head down into turn 1. And again, at this point here early on. I mean, we're on lap 8, but of course, we had those caution laps, so we're still kind of struggling here by lap 8 of the stage just because of that short run pace. Not really being in the number 15. Big crash, and we're involved. The 60 of Priest loses it in front of us, and we are going to have to come into the pits to repair that. The right front, the front end, all around, and the right side of the car all pick up some damage.
What do you think?
Interestingly enough, you see that no one else is coming into the pits, so I take that back. Burt Myers decided he was going to come into the pits, so now we will be P39 and P40 as we go back racing here in stage 2, and obviously that's kind of the curveballs that this game can throw at you, is you can get taken out sometimes, in these incidents, and it puts you in a bit of an awkward spot. And well, unfortunately now we've got some work to do, so we got to try and work our way forward after getting some repairs on this Domino's number 15 to the inside of Burt Myers. We go right off the bat, and this is not an easy track to pass at, so I wasn't expecting this to be a walk in the park, as I go for a big slide actually there into turn number 3, but we're all good now as we exit turn 4, cutting down on that dogleg as far as we can into the literal pit exit now, and still unfortunately not really making up much time there as Burt Myers went for a bit of a slide. And now I was like, okay, let's go up to the top here and try to see if we can kind of rip around the outside of the 88 of Shane Van Gisbergen. And well, no, he would put me in the wall, because why wouldn't he? So there goes some more time. And obviously, as you can imagine, when you've got 4 fresh tires and you haven't really gone anywhere, it gets a little bit on the side of frustration, to say the least here. Now, I was definitely a bit frustrated. Just the fact that we just don't seem to be able to really make these passes now, and you see me back out of that one because you were getting put in the wall again there. That one was kind of on me. I kind of stuck my nose in there pretty late, but nonetheless, I mean, through 3 and 4, though, we're just going to throttle back up and start making some gains here now all the way around the outside of the 91 here of Elio Castroneves, and as well Cole Custer to my inside there, 3 wide in the middle as we head down towards turn number 3, and just continue to do what we're doing, because we're now starting to make those gains here as we exit turn 4 right to the back of the 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and eventually just actually 4 wide around him, because Burt Myers is making some great gains as well in that number 50. Shout out to him. As we now, of course, are coming up on these closing 10 or so laps just about here in stage 2 as we're up to the back of the 60. He's the reason we're even in this position, but obviously it wasn't really his fault, so he just wrecked. So we ain't going to give him a hard time. We continue working our way forward, though, here. Come lap 20 of 31 in stage 2 now. Just about at least into the top 25 we've recovered to, as Ryan Blaney continues to do exactly what he needs to be doing, and that's winning this race right now. Has led every single lap in that number 12 car last season. He lost this race, of course, as Chase Elliott was able to pick up his first win of the season right here last season in the season finale, which also won him the championship in what was the final season of that playoff format. Now as we continue 3 wide around the outside, exiting turn 2 down this back straightaway here, and now we're going to be pulling up to the back of Cody Ware, who's having a great top 20 run. We'll pass him relatively easily as well. So as we continue marching our way forward, now running down the 48 of Alex Bowman, and as well, how about Connor Zilish having a great run in that Freeway Insurance number 99 Chevrolet Camaro as well, and around the outside of this Ally Financial Chevrolet we go of Alex Bowman to put us into P18. Next up is Connor Zilish, as we're going to probably run him down pretty quick at this point. Now it feels like our tire advantage is really kicking in, long run advantage as well as kicking in, so honestly I feel like we could drive into the top 10 if we kept on with it. Now as we'll look to the outside of this 99 of Zilish, who's going to put us into the outside wall. Oh my goodness, that's like the 8th time today someone's put me in the outside wall, and this one kind of got on my nerves just because of how many times it has happened today now, and I was really getting tired of it now as we cut down on that dogleg, head down into turn 1. Zilish battling with Suarez as we dive down onto the apron into the corner, and we're going to hit the 99 in the left rear, and we're going to send him spinning through turn 1. Caution's going to come out now as Zilish goes for a spin, and man, I was trying to stay off him. I just got tight, and really hate to see that happen, unfortunately, there for the number 99. So we're all going to come back into the pits, though, and get tires and get some fuel as well. As Joey Logano, I think it was, had just literally pulled off into the pit lane as that caution was coming out. So no adjustments. We'll restart P16, I think, and get ready to go back racing. Actually, we're going to gain maybe a spot because Denny Hamlin, yes, Denny Hamlin, gives up a bunch of track position because he needed to make repairs for that original accident he had a little bit earlier on in the race, of course, in stage 2. So now as we go back, we need 3 laps to go. Look who's right in front of us, the 24. Your championship leader of William Byron, not even in the top 10 right now, as we are briefly 4 wide into turn 1 as a lean on the left rear of that 7. But now Byron is going to get himself, I think, back into the top 10 as we're 3 wide in the middle, down the back straightaway, everybody on fresh tires. So it's just about hanging on for 2 laps. But William Byron was out of the top 10, but now he's working his way back forward here as Ryan Blaney, though, still in control. Kyle Larson currently up there in P2 as we cut all the way down to the inside, heading down into turn number 1, side by side with the 48 of Alex Bowman, as we'll be wheel to wheel on the exit here at turn 2. And at this point, just trying to not give up another spot or two as we're waiting to just get back around to that green-white checkered, approaching the final lap here of stage number 2. Byron now continues into the top 10. These are crucial points for that 24 because as it looks right now, I mean, Blaney's dominating. Good chance he wins this race and scores the maximum points again, and that could put William Byron in a bit of trouble as they continue through now 1 and 2, and Byron sliding up the racetrack, actually, I can see from here, and that's opened the door for the 20 of Christopher Bell now as Blaney leads the way through 3 and 4. Byron's now on the top lane, Bell to his inside. Blaney scores 10 points again, wins the stage. Byron barely holds off Christopher Bell and manages a top 10 result. His exact result was P6, so he scores 5 points, meaning he gave up 2 points in stage 1, he gave up 5 points in stage 2 to, of course, Ryan Blaney, who has scored 20. What a situation we've got on our hands here. William Byron will now go into stage 3 with a 28-point lead. 35 points to start. He's lost 7. Gives him 28 points to work with now in the final stage, which is underway. Can William Byron hang on? The pressure is on. Kyle Larson has gained in on the 24 as well, but obviously the focus is on the number 12, who has continued to put more points between him and the 5, and as well gain on that number 24. We've got a little over 30 laps of racing to decide a NASCAR Cup Series champion, and I'm not entirely convinced right now that it's going to be William Byron, because of course 28 points says hold on, the 48 turns down into my right rear. We nearly crashed there through 3 and 4, but as it stands right now, Ryan Blaney leading this race. If Ryan Blaney wins, he completes maximum points again and will score 75 points. William Byron, of course, needs to just make sure he doesn't give up 28 to the number 12. William Byron needs to finish 9th or better if Ryan Blaney wins this race to hang on to the championship right here. If he finishes 9th, he would win the championship by 1 point. 10th place would be a tie, which would go to Ryan Blaney if he wins this race. So 10th or lower will not give William Byron this championship. We are just going to go out and assume that this 12, and unless there's chaos, this 12 car is going to win this race. So William Byron needs to finish 9th or better to win this championship as Ty Gibbs puts me into the wall. Around he goes. Goodbye. See you later. Absolute moron. And that's going to bring out another yellow, of course. And no one's going to pay here. We're not in the field window yet, but of course that does eat laps out of the remaining laps that we have in this race. So obviously not exactly what I wanted to see, but nonetheless, we'll get ready to go racing again here now. And Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski lead the field to green. Right now, William Byron is in 10th place. Byron right now is not winning this championship. As it stands, it's in a dead tie as Byron runs P10.
Stay high.
And Ryan Blaney leads the way right now. They are 100% tied in the points, and that tiebreaker does go to the number 12 of Ryan Blaney, who would score his 8th win of the season right here on the season finale, compared to Byron, who would be at 7 as we head into turn number 3 following the number 19. And Byron's going backwards. He's going in the wrong direction as we exit turn 4. Now, without a yellow, we'll still see some green flag pit stops here, so that is going to also play a role here. I kind of hope we see a yellow because I honestly just want this race to play out without a pit stop under green now, as we're going to lift this time to make sure we're not 3 wide to the outside of the number 19 of Chase Briscoe, as we got 3 wide behind us into turn 3 as well. But we're, of course, just going to drive it off in here. And at this point now, I'm trying to just honestly stay out of the chaos, stay out of trouble, because it's just not been a pretty season finale for us. And it looks like right now we're going to kind of hang on for probably P6 in the standings around Chase Elliott, who's outpointed me, you know, pretty well all day as well. So obviously not exactly what we were looking for, but that's just a situation that we've got ourselves in as we continue on here. Now, Carson Hocevar, hold on. Oh, actually, speaking of Carson Hocevar, he's crashing. And that's the caution everybody needed to get into the fuel window. So we'll all come into the pits for 4 tires and fuel one more time. And now we can all make it to the end. And therefore, it's a straight fight between the 12 and the 24. I was just about to say, as we actually see some shuffling in the pits, but I was about to say that Hocevar is just the worst driver in the chase right now. Of course, he was the last one in on a tiebreaker, and he is way off of 15th place coming into this race in the chase. It's been a terrible chase for Carson Hocevar, and obviously it just didn't get any better right there. As again, William Byron starting on the outside line. That's not going to help him at all, as I was looking to just shoot the middle here between the 8 and the 10, but just couldn't quite get the car to grip up and take off like I needed it to right there, unfortunately now. But again, I've got confidence we can just make this outside work. Obviously, the problem now is everybody's on fresh tires, so it's going to be hard for, you know, till basically lap 70. We're probably pretty well going to be stuck or going in the wrong direction, not unfortunately going forward, which would be what we would prefer. But I mean, we actually are going forward a little bit there, passing the number 8 of Kyle Busch. As we head down this backstretch here, 3 wide through the middle between the 10 as well as the 48, and we're actually making some headway here in these closing laps a lot earlier than I thought we would. William Byron as well had kind of settled in and was up there with Ross Chastain. So right now Blaney leads over Kyle Larson and Bubba Wallace here top 3. And William Byron runs in P10 right now behind Ross Chastain. So as of right now, William Byron is still losing this championship because it's still a tie. He needs to pass the 1 and get to 9th place. He will be your champion by a single point. Bit of contact there with the 19, but Byron would in fact get past the 1. So Byron would move into 9th and actually bring Carson Hocevar with him. And more crucially for William Byron, he's also going to go up there and he's going to get past the 21 of Josh Berry, who is working on passing right now. He will pass him. So that will put William Byron into the 8th position in these closing laps. So as it stands right now, William Byron doing exactly what he needs to do, and he's running down the 17 of Chris Buescher. Right now, Byron has your championship locked up by 2 single points. It's what a battle we're having right here in the mid to late teens now. But William Byron, right now, you can see up ahead, you can see the red and yellow, the red flames, the yellow number, the bright 24 to the inside of the 17 of Buescher. That'll put him up to P7. That'll be now a 3-point margin that William Byron has. Now, hold on. Let me correct this. I have made an error on where Byron is on the track. He's not up to 7th. He was up to 8th. So he was only good by 2 points, not 3. Now he's passing for 7th on Christopher Bell. So now he's good by 3. Now Byron has the championship by 3 points. Now as we're continuing to work our way forward late in this race, 3 laps to go. Byron with a 3-point margin on Ryan Blaney now, who continues to dominate this race. Will something happen? Will we see a yellow that sends this race to NASCAR overtime now as we continue to fight with Allmendinger and Briscoe as well? Are we about to have a brand new NASCAR Cup Series champion? It looks like it might be happening here now, but Christopher Bell, he's actually reeling in that 24 with 2 laps to go, trying to put a little bit of pressure back on him after getting past just recently. So hold on. That would put it back down to a 2-point margin if the 20 passes the 24, but there's no one else really close enough to be able to pass. So I think this is it. Down the back straightaway into turn 3, coming to the final lap for the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. He did everything right in these final 2 races. He scored maximum points with a win in Martinsville. He's going to do it again here in Phoenix as he won stage 1. He won stage 2. Christopher Bell's to the inside of the 24 into turn 1. Byron's going to lose a spot, drop from 7th to 8th, and now be 2 points clear of Ryan Blaney, but something catastrophic needs to happen to the 24 if Ryan Blaney's going to win it now, because as Blaney comes through turn 3 and off turn 4, Ryan Blaney wins in Phoenix, but William Byron will hang on for P8 and become your 2026 NASCAR Cup Series champion by just 2 points over the course of a 10-race chase. Absolutely incredible comeback from Ryan Blaney that just didn't quite work out in the end. And William Byron hangs on for 8th place in a championship by 2 single points. How about that? Denny Hamlin in his final race, Michael McDowell in his final race as well, 21st and 24th for both of them. Didn't quite work out there for Denny, who of course wrecked himself earlier in stage 2. It just didn't quite work out. But what a career from Denny Hamlin and Michael McDowell as well. As you see it there, William Byron 2 points ahead of Blaney. Larson did overall close only a few points on Larson, ended up 32 points back. And then it's Bell, Elliott, and then myself in P6 over Hamlin, Briscoe, Busher, Wallace, Keselowski, Logano, Reddick, Gibbs, Bowman, and Carson Hocevar to wrap up the 16-driver chase grid that we kicked off, of course, 10 races ago. What a season it was. 4 wins on the season for us. I'm quite happy with that. And of course, we'll be kicking off season 3 pretty fast, and it very well could be the final season, and then we might be moving on to another project. So stay tuned. I hope you guys are excited. We got a lot more silly season, of course, that we're implementing in this next season. We're not going to have an off-season video. We're just going to talk about it into the Daytona 500. So I'll see you guys then. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.